What's good, everyone? It's your boy Santo G, back at it. You already know, spreading unity, prosperity, and respect. Above all, if you're new here, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button, tap that notification bell. That way you're notified when I drop future content, man. So today, I wanted to tell you guys about the time that I ended up having a little function in Silmar. It was my 17th birthday. My mom actually ended up talking to the supervisor. Shout out Mr. Jacobs. He was the supervisor right there in Silmar in 2008 and 2009. And my boy showed nothing but love. I had like a bad acne problem. So he would let my jefita bring medicated stuff from the streets. As long as it was clear, she would leave it in the front. He'll go through it and then he'll give it to me. And for my birthday, I want to not only shout out Mr. Jacobs, but I also want to shout out the homie Frank, OG Flipper from Florence, and his compadre Lionel, man. He actually has his restaurant right here on Hyde Park and Park in the little corner spot next to the carniceria. He has his own little taco spot, Mexican food spot, tacos, burritos, anything Mexican food, man. Bomb. You guys are ever in the area, check them out, man. But back then he had another restaurant, I believe somewhere in West LA. So he knew that my birthday was coming up, and hey, they ended up sending a platter of nothing but enchiladas, a whole caso of rice and beans, and they ended up sending another platter of like 5 wet burritos, like 4 sopes, like 4 other like hard tacos. It was a whole platter of a little bit of everything, man. Flautas, burritos, sopes, and it was a whole nother one of enchiladas, some rice and some beans. It was enough to feed the whole unit, man. You know what I mean? If I'm lying, I'm dying, man. Anybody that was in Unit Y around 2008, 2009, they know your boy. You know what I mean? I stayed with the fire czar, and you know what I mean? Anyone and everyone that was there were like, man, I've been working here, or I've been here so long, and I've never seen this ever in my life. You know what I mean? That's why I want to shout out all the people that made that happen. Most of all, my jefita, you know what I'm saying? So, boom, it's my birthday. We end up having a whole spread, man. I feed everybody. And the homie Dumbo, to be exact, he comes and he tells me like, hey, bro, like, I want a burrito, fool. I like, whoa, whoa. He seen me. I had got me and my celly, me and my bunkie that I had at the time. I had hooked us up, a soap, a burrito, everything. So he's like, hey, you know what I mean? What's up? Technically, all the ones that had the burritos and all that, that was like for the staff. They got like the bomb. So I was like, you know what? I could go take one from them to just give to you. You know what I mean? You're the boy. I thought he was the boy. You know what I'm saying? Boom. I feed him. Even gave him extra. I even remember that personally. You know what I mean? There was certain people certain homies that I ended up hooking up with extra. You know what I'm saying? Shout out the homie Casper from PSO, Pomona Sur Olive. Shout out the homie Listo from KHA. Shout out the homie Shaggy from AK Locals. And you know what I mean? We was all right there. Shout out the homie Violent from AP. And there was a couple of other homies. Yeah, I believe even the homie Little Man, the homie Little One from Landon was there. There was a couple of homies that were right there. I can't remember everyone personally, but it was a nice handful of homies. Shout out the homie Casper from Junior Mafia. No, from Little Mobsters. Shout out the homie from Little Mobsters. So, boom, we're eating. Everything's good. Not only did my jefita bring food, she brought a cake and she brought me some shoes. She brought me some brand new Vans. I already had some Converse. You know what I mean? I already had some Converse. And I had some Chucks that she had brought me, but they were a little too big. Anybody that knows Chuck sizes, they run a little bit bigger or smaller, one of those. I think they were too small or too big. I think too big. So boom, she brings me some Vans. I end up leaving the Vans outside and I have my Chucks inside. So the next day in the morning, this fool Dumbo comes to my cell. He's like, hey, we gonna get down. Like, what? He's like, hey, homie, we gonna get down. Like, what? He's like, yeah. He's like, these vans, these are mine now. He's like, till we get down, then I'll give them back to you. Like, what? I say, let's. Boom, they're doing bathroom calls. They only let like 1 or 2 cells down at a time. He's in the cell across from me. He celled up with the homie Violent from AP. So the homie Violent from AP can vouch for this. So, boom, they come to me. I go over there and I tell him like, hey, G, what's up with that? Like, you know what I mean? Run that. He's like, nah, homie, like you're gonna have to knock me out. Then I look at Violent, like, Violent, what's up, fool? He's like, hey, bro, that's between you guys. Like, that's him, you know? Like, I don't have nothing to do with it. I'm like, all right, cool. I didn't end up seeing him till the next day. We ended up having to, I went to court the next day in the morning, so I ended up coming back. I come back from court. They run bathroom again. I go up to his door, like, hey, fool, you want that? You sure? He's like, all right, bet. Boom, they let us out to eat. We go out to eat. I didn't even eat. I'm right there, I'm just looking at my food. I can't eat, you know what I mean? I'm sick to my stomach. Boom, I raise my hand to go throw away my food, and then you have to get in the table in the back. So everybody's done, then they run day room. So boom, I throw my stuff away. I go all the way to the table in the back, and he's at the table all the way in the back, in front of where I have to sit. So I go, boom, tap him on the shoulder. He turns around. So when he turns around, boom, 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 just flight him. He gets up, just swimming. I'm just on him, boom, 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 because he's a big dude, big stocky motherfucker. And back then, I'm not gonna lie, I was skinny, you know what I mean? I'm gonna put the picture right here. I know I said I was gonna put it in the other video, but I totally spaced out when I was editing it. So this is a picture of me on my 18th birthday. So all this happened a year prior to when I took this picture. So boom, 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 boom. He ends up tackling me. Boom, I end up falling back on the door. Like we end up going from where the food's at, like where the tables are at, all the way to where there's a door. So boom, I end up falling. And a CO comes and just pushes him. They just push him. So he ends up just, I just end up running over there again. Boop, boop, boop. So they just come and they spray us. I'm not even gonna lie, they sprayed him. Even though I'm the one that flighted them, they sprayed him. They knew that he was the bigger threat. Not even gonna lie, I'll be the first one to admit it. I just didn't want to stop because I knew that the minute that he gets his composure and his vision and all that, I'm done. So I'm just boop, 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 boop. Don't stop. That's the main thing. If you know you about to get down with someone that you have, that they have the advantage over you, what I suggest is just once you flight, once you take off, do not stop. Do not give them the chance to gain their composure or nothing. Just boop, 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 keep mollywopping them. They won't know what hit them. Trust. They're about to go like this or just start swimming. You know what I mean? But don't let them gain their composure. So, boom. They spray us. Boom, we go to the hole. And he ends up telling them, you know what I mean? He ends up telling them. I don't know who tells them. I don't know if he tells them. They end up finding out what happened. You know what I'm saying? And they ended up putting us together in a back room. Right there, that's the greatness about Unit Y. Is that if you had anything against someone, they'll let you guys chunk them. They'll let you guys chunk them and then they'll make you squash it. You know what I mean? They don't want no live fights. Because if they didn't have no live fights in the day room, they would get bonuses. So this one right here really fucked them over. But they knew that I was calm and they knew how Homeboy was. You know what I mean? Homeboy thought that I was just going to let him take my shoes and not do nothing about it. You know what I mean? He had your boy mistaken. He had your boy wrong. And after that, he gave me the respect. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, after all that, me flighting them and all that, I still even gave them my chucks, bro. You know what I mean? Once they put us together and we chopped it up, I'm like, look, bro, I understand, homie. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see me doing good and all that, just through a party and all that, homie, but there's ways around it, you know what I mean? Like, look, homie, I got some chucks that are too big for me, bro. If they fit you, homie, you could have them, bro. You know what I'm saying? But don't ever disrespect me like that, thinking that you're going to take anything from me, homie. Because I ain't the one, G. Straight up. I got a good ass heart, homie, and I'll bless you. I don't mind blessing you, but I ain't the one, homie. And he gave me my respect. You know what I mean? I thought we were gonna have to get down again because he had told me like, hey, look, we good, but I need my get backs. So we had tried to set it up from a gang of different COs, different free staff, and they all said yeah, but they would never let us get in the cell together. You know what I mean? And what ended up happening, to be honest, once I finally knew that me and him were good, was when my grandma ended up passing away. You know what I'm saying? God bless her soul. She ended up going and seeing me. But after she passed away, this was all during around that time. She ended up passing away like not even like a month later, man. And he ended up coming back because he was in Y1 for a little bit. They ended up separating us for like a couple of weeks till shit died down. So he ended up coming back, and then one day I'm walking to the bathroom and he had his door stuffed. Anyone knows in Juvenile Hall, if you stuff your door with any little card, a playing card or something, you could crack it open. So he had his door stuffed and he cracked it open. And he's like, hey, Kyle. So I'm like, fuck. I'm like, all right. I'm right there chopping it up, walking, talking to the homie. Next thing you know, I look and he's like, hey, Kyle, to my cell is cracked. I'm like, oh. You know what I mean? I gotta go. I can't mark out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta see these people every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one thing. Like, you gotta stand your own, because you do something right. Like, say someone marks you out today. Tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day, you're gonna see these people. There's no way around it. It's not like if you could duck and dodge or hide. You're gonna see these people every day. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of people say Juvenile Hall is where you learn who's who. Who's really with it, who's a lame, who's what, you know what I'm saying? So I go up in there. I'm thinking like, fuck, I'm gonna have to get down with him right now. I go in the cell and I'm standing like with my back against the door, like iffy, you know? And he's like, hey bro, like sit down. Like what? He pulls out the little pipe, like the ones I showed you guys, and he starts packing a bowl. He's like, sit down, bro. He starts giving me his respect, like, hey bro, you know, I just wanted to tell you, you know what I mean? My bad about what happened, bro. He's like, I'm just the type of person anywhere I get to where, because he had just landed there. He's like, when I get to certain places, he's like, I'm not going to lie, man, I'm a fool. I like to test people, figure out who's who. And I was wrong with you, my boy, you know, like, pack the bowl. He's like, here, fool. I want you to hit this and smoke with me, my boy. And, you know what I mean? My bad, fool, you know? He actually had just got a letter of child support and stuff like that, and he was asking me for a little bit of advice, you know, on how to go about things. So that's why, even though we had that little hiccup, I'm still here right now saying shout out my boy Dumbo from Palmas, man, because although we got into it, we still ended up coming to terms and just squashing it and able to look past it, man. It's all about being together. We both from the same car, so you know what I'm saying? Unity, prosperity, and respect. Above all, it's your boy Santo G. This is another one of when I actually flighted the homie Dumbo from Palmas because he had took my shoes, man. And the reason I'm saying his name and a couple of other people's names is so that way, if anybody knows these people, man, you guys can verify this story. Like I said, it's your boy Santo G, sponsored by Killer Kush and sponsored by Cali Herbs. Let's get it.